Hey everyone, Gregor Ortiz here, and I have a very special guest with me today. His name is Austin, and I want to thank you all very, very much for being on today's webinar. First off, I really appreciate everyone's time. As you all know, I know everyone's time is extremely valuable. My time is no more valuable than all of yours, so I'm extremely grateful that you're all on here in the first place. So thank you all for being here. As you saw from the email, I spoke about how I was able to go ahead and increase all my conversions on my Shopify store, which was amazing, and a couple of my softwares. Now, I know a lot of you out there may not have software. Some of you may not even have Shopify, but the same principles apply, and the exact same aspect that we're going to speak about a little bit later is going to be applying as well. No matter what your industry you're in, I mean, if you think about it, at the end of the day, everyone wants better conversions on your website. Otherwise, what's the point of having a website where you sell something? Or even if you don't sell something, you're giving it away for free. You want to collect people's emails, whatever your end goal is, that's a conversion. Okay. So you want as many conversions as possible. And I was speaking to a friend of mine recently, who went ahead and just introduced me to this amazing piece of software. And I was like, wow, this is pretty dope. Let me go ahead and check this out. And like I said, it increased my conversions tenfold. It was absolutely amazing. And it was so amazing that I got to a point where I decided, you know what, I need to reach out to these guys and see what we can do for my audience, because my audience deserves to be able to increase their conversions as well, and to be able to make, at the end of the day, as much money as possible, right? I mean, that's why we're all here, right? To make as much money as possible. So I went ahead and reached out to the team. Austin graciously got back to me. He's one of the co-founders of the company, which you rarely ever see someone that high get back to you for anything. And he got back to me. I was extremely grateful for it. And he's here on the webinar with us. So thanks for joining us today, Austin. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. Hey, thanks for having me on.
Thank you. So Austin, if you don't mind, let's just go ahead and kind of dive right into it. I mean, I want you to be able to tell my audience exactly what it is that was able to increase my conversions and all the different great successes that so many other companies have had. I mean, some of the biggest names, correct me if I'm wrong, some of the biggest names in internet marketing use your software as well. I mean, one of my best friends, Alex Becker, uses your software, correct?
Yeah. We talk with Alex all the time.
Yep. Gene Millman, who a lot of people might be familiar with because recently he had that amazing Facebook ad where he was like the Wolf of Wall Street. He was reenacting the Wolf of Wall Street. I know so many people saw that. He uses your software as well. And so many other people, Ty Lopez, to name a few. I mean, there's so many different people using it. So if you don't mind, if you could just kind of dive in, kind of tell the audience everything. Oh, and before I forget, you have a very special gift for everyone who's
I do, guys. So over the past month and a half or so, my partner Dave Rogan-Moser and I put together a course all about conversion, and we call it Conversion Secrets. Nifty little box here, but it just represents essentially the course itself, where we break down all of the split tests that we've run over the past few years. We've spent over $500,000 on paid advertising, and with all of that ad spend, we've learned a lot of lessons, and we want to try and save you some of the failed experiments that we have learned along the way. And so stay towards the end, because I'm going to give you that for free here later today. And also, I want to open up this for questions. I have my partner Chris in the other room as well. And so he'll be hopping in the chat and commenting with you guys and chatting here in the chat box. So thanks for hopping on. And we're going to really be talking a lot about social proof and how you can use this psychology hack to increase conversions on your site. I'm going to show you all the different ways to use that, whether you use our software Proof or you use, all these other really cool strategies that I'm going to show you here as well. So, Gregor, you mind if I share my screen here?
Just want to say really quickly, Rebecca is saying in the chat that she's super excited and she can't wait for this. There's a bunch of people saying thank you already because they know you're giving something away at the end. Everyone just seems super excited about it. So just wanted you to know that in case you weren't looking at the chat box, but everyone seems super excited. I'm excited for everyone to kind of get into this as well. So yeah, go ahead. Feel free to share your screen. I'll turn off my camera right now. That way you guys don't continue to see my UGG mug and you'll be able to see the full screen.
Sure. Yeah. I'll do
slides on the screen. If everyone else can see his slides on the screen, can you just put a 1 into the chat box, please, just to make sure that everyone else can see it and that you can still hear him okay? All right, perfect. I see a bunch of 1s pouring in. It looks like you're good to go, Austin.
Awesome. Very cool, guys. Well, today I'm going to show you how top marketers are using this little-known psychology trick to 3x conversions on their funnels, and how you can instantly boost your conversions as well. What you'll discover today here first is the highest converting section on ads that's putting split tests to death. The second secret that you're going to learn are the 4 elements of what we call SPM, which we add to every funnel to boost our conversions. And the third secret I'll show you here today is how to stir up a buying frenzy by displaying real-time social proof and purchases. So I want you all to know first off, though, now, there's a lot of misleading information out there in the world, and you've been led to believe that creating a high converting website is only possible with amazing copywriting and graphic design and sales videos. But I want you to know that you've been lied to. I'm going to show you how all you need is one past customer to multiply conversions on your funnel. And so I want you all to know that my goal here today is the biggest lever to boosting your conversions is to have customers sell for you through social proof marketing. And my second goal here today for you is the most effective way to use social proof marketing is using Proof, our software's conversion tool set. And let me kind of dive in a little bit about who I am, so you guys kind of know the guy behind the presentation here. My name is Austin Distel. I'm an Atlanta native living near Washington, D.C. in a little town called Annapolis. It's funny, they call this town Annapolis a drinking town with a sailing problem, which is a pretty good description for what it is around here. So if any of you guys are around Annapolis, we'll go and have a happy hour drink down at Pusser's, which is a local bar here. Secondly, I'm a serial entrepreneur and speaker. I've been blessed to be able to speak on stages from San Diego to Amsterdam, and looking forward to holding more masterminds here. That's one of my favorite things to do. And so we're going to be holding a couple masterminds in the winter here in Denver. I'm excited for that. And then third, I'm a partner here and also the CMO of Proof, and also a global club for entrepreneurs called the Entrepreneur Alliance. Let me give you a little bit behind our team, though. Dave is the CEO, and JP is the CTO. Chris Hull is our co-founder as well, who's the head of success. And I came in a little bit later as the partner and CMO, probably about a year and a half ago. I'll kind of break down our story. But then we also have an amazing software engineer, Ben Grimes. Ryan Ferrer is out there in the Philippines helping out with customer success. And we have a marketing whiz kid, Austin Troyer, doing our paid traffic. A little background on our team, so you know, leading up to Proof and who we are and why you should even listen to me about conversion is back in 2013 to 15. We started a digital marketing consulting, helping businesses acquire more customers through the internet. I think a lot of you guys probably are running marketing agencies as well, so you know that kind of life. And we did that for 2 years. I got my agency to about 10 grand a month. My partners got their agency up to about 30 grand a month. And in 2015 to 16, they started launching info products. And I ended up actually buying one of the products from Dave Rogan-Moser, and that was called 6K Success. It was how to scale a digital marketing agency. They did so well, not only attaining clients, but also doing great work, that they decided to make a course around that. And so I ended up buying that while I was in college, and ended up becoming a great success story within the course. That's how I got introduced to Dave, Chris, and JP. And they did over $1 million in info product sales that between those 2 years. And then they started launching softwares. And this, the first software they did was PayFunnels, which was a really quick, seamless invoicing software that ended up getting acquired. So somebody bought that company from them. And then it was in the autumn of 2016 that we started the Entrepreneur Alliance. I moved from Atlanta up here to Annapolis to join the team and really to build this global club for entrepreneurs where we're focused on honest marketing strategies, kind of like in the 2015 to 16 time with the info product rage. We kind of found that there's a lot of smoke and mirrors with all of the gurus of the world. And I don't know, we just felt like we didn't need to sell our soul to make a buck online. And so that's when we really thought about ourselves as, I think that we can change the tides here in the online marketing space. I believe it comes with cultivating a community, building honest marketing strategies. And so that's really where the Entrepreneur Alliance came in. And so the big takeaway here that I want you to know from our story is that we've spent $489,768 on paid ads in the last 2 years. I pulled that from our ad manager earlier this morning. And we've, through all that traffic, we've funneled through hundreds of split tests. We've found what works and also what doesn't. And so I want you all to know that All of these things have been vetted. I'm not going to share anything here with you that hasn't worked consistently. And we've been teaching these strategies to our paid community for a little while now, and it's gotten results consistently. So I want you to know everything I'm going to share you here today works consistently. It's going to work on your funnels, whether you're an info, whether you're a SaaS, whether you're a Shopify, e-commerce, it doesn't really matter. It does work here. So let's kind of dive on in here to the secret number one, which is the highest converting section on ads that are putting split test to death. I like the analogy of an empty restaurant. Now, really, what's the difference here between an empty restaurant and a restaurant that has a line out the door? Is it a fancy website? Not really. Is it an amazing video on the website? No, not really at all either. The answer is Google reviews, Yelp reviews, and Facebook comments. See, here's the thing is we all, before going to any restaurant in the world, we always look up on Yelp or whatever, how other people's experiences were. Did they like the food? Did they not like the food? How was the service? Were they timely? What was the wait time? And so we want to know, what were other people's experiences at the restaurant before even ever showing up? And so if you get 5-star reviews on any of these, that's going to pretty much spawn more business. And it's almost like the viral effect that happens. Even if you're walking down the street and you see a line out the door, it makes you want to go to that restaurant even more. And so it's the classic philosophy of social proof. As Google would define it, it's a psychological and social phenomenon where people assume the actions of others in an attempt to reflect correct behaviors in a given situation. And when we really looked at this, we were just like, that's really cool, but what's the business application here? How can I use social proof in my business? And so that's when we discovered the idea of social proof marketing, or as we term it, SPM. And this is the idea that we're using marketing, we are marketing other people's actions in an attempt to reflect the correct behavior in a situation. Kind of working with the idea, the definition of social proof, but how do we make that actionable? And so how can we get our customers to sell for us rather than us having to sell to our customers? And that was such a big epiphany for me. I just needed to find a way that I could show how great our products were, the results that it was getting for other people, and somehow get other future prospects to see those results. And the first time that I recognized this in our business, it was how I used to run our ads. Now, I don't know about you all, but I run a ton of split tests. Well, at least I used to. I would test all the images, the headlines, the marketing copy, the subtext, and it works, but it takes so much time and also a lot of money. And so during all of those split tests, we discovered something interesting. I want you guys to think here. This is an example ad that we are currently running. I want you all to think, what is the part of the ad that most affects conversions? Type in the chat box below. What do you guys think? Is it going to be the headline? Is it the description? Is it the copy? Is it the call to action? What piece of this ad is going to increase conversions the most? Some people say the headline, description, copy. Yeah. So would you guys think about this? I'm going to reveal some of the numbers here. Would you guys say that the headline increases conversion by 10%? Okay. Yeah. Most of you guys pretty much knew that wasn't going to be the headline. Description, not that much, right? Only 1%. The copy, pretty good amount. Obviously, that's the messaging. It's what, is the storytelling part of this ad. So yeah, it's going to have a much higher amount. But I think that most of you all would realize that it would be the image at 70%. Now, image or video. For us here in this ad, it was a video. This is one of the biggest components. And so it has a variance of about 70% of how well your ad does. And then finally, the call to action was only about 2%. So if you made a learn more or a click here, it really doesn't matter. But what does matter the most is the copy and the image. But I'm going to tell you guys what, that was not our biggest learning lesson here running this ad. In fact, every single time that we made a new split test, we lost all of our comments, our likes, and our shares. Because if you guys know, in Facebook, if you change the creative in any way, like let's say I have the exact same copy, headline, call to action, all of that, and then I just change maybe from a photo to a video, the likes, comments, and shares are not going to transfer from one ad to the other. So that's what we're experiencing is every single time that we change the headline or the creative in any way, we're going to lose all of our comments, likes, and shares. And so we decided to run another test. Or should I really say we decided not to run another test, another split test, that is, so that we can rack up these guys on our ads. And so what did that do for us? Well, without the creative being changed, and we just kind of had all the brand new ads coming out, every single time that we would release a new ad, it would look like the one here on the left. And on average, whenever we would launch a brand new ad, our cost per 1,000 impressions, or CPM, would be about $28. And the only difference between the left one and the right one that you'll see here is that bottom section where once we had this ad running for a little while, and this is the most recent photo of this ad, is all the comments, likes, and shares. So I ran a test. What would be the difference between a brand new ad and an ad that's been running for a little while here? One that we gave it our best shot. We stopped running all these split tests. We stopped changing all the headlines, all the images, all the copy. We stopped doing all that and just gave it our best shot. You know, we try to figure out between our team, you know, what do you think is the most compelling ad? And we just let that thing ride and develop social proof on it. By letting this thing ride, we then developed, 461 shares, comments, and likes. And guess what happened? Our CPM went crazy down. Our cost per 1,000 impressions dramatically decreased. And so what we realized is social proof was being rewarded by Facebook. Not only did social proof make our relevance score go up, it also made our click-through rates go up. It was a more compelling ad. Because you saw a whole bunch of comments, likes, and shares on the ad, it made other people also want to comment, like, or share on this ad. And it really just started spiraling. It's almost like in the beginning, it was a slower start. Not as many people wanted to like a brand new ad. But once it started getting and started developing a lot of these likes and shares, it really spun out of control. And especially if you started running engagement objectives towards this ad, which is another cool hack that you can do if you want to start developing engagement. So not only did it, like I said, increase our relevance score and also increase our click-through rate, overall, it decreased our cost per click and cost per 1,000 impressions. So you're going to increase your click-through rates and decrease your cost. Guys, are you starting to see the power of social proof? If you are, guys, type a giant yes here. If you are loving this idea of social proof marketing, you want to add this here to your strategy, guys. Gregory, what do you think about, this whole strategy? Are you currently using social proof on any of your ads or any engagement campaigns?
Yeah, I definitely am. I know firsthand the importance of having social proof. I mean, just like you said, you guys have spent so much more money than I have. And thankfully, I was able to kind of latch onto it and see, okay, these are the guys spending all this money. I see what works for them. Let me go ahead and kind of jump on the bandwagon, so to speak. And yeah, I've noticed as well, obviously, when there's more likes, when there's more shares, people are more inclined to do it. I mean, it's the same thing with everyone that's on this webinar, like all of your customers, right? Just think about it. Like if you have a customer and they purchase something and they're loving your product and they go ahead and they make comments about how amazing your product is, other people are more inclined to buy it. I know this firsthand because I'm not sure if you guys have seen it. Austin, have you seen it by chance? There's an ad from a mattress company called Purple. Have you seen it?
Oh my God, that's an amazing commercial.
Yes. So I'll explain to you, literally when that commercial first came out on Facebook, and I'm talking about when Purple was like first incepted, when they first started running the Facebook ads, I was one of their first customers to purchase it just based on the Facebook ad and reading all the social comments that were in there. People were just loving how funny it was and everything else. And I just looked at it and I watched the ad and I'm like, this is hilarious. But then I started reading some customers who were talking about how amazing the product was. I was like, what the hell? Let's give it a shot. Like, yeah, it's a, $1,000 mattress and I've never heard of it before now, but let me go ahead and just take a gamble on it. I mean, thinking about it, social proof alone is what made me spend $1,000 on their product. I'm happy to say it's the best mattress I ever had. I now own 3 of them for each bedroom. But
No
at the
way. Wait,
time,
you went and bought it? That's awesome.
oh yeah, no, I absolutely bought it. I have 2 king size and a queen size. I have the queen for my son. I got the king for myself, a king in the guest room, and it's the greatest mattress ever. I mean, every time I have to sleep in a hotel or somewhere else, I'm kind of upset because it doesn't feel the same. But just because of social proof, it made me spend $1,000. Now, obviously, not everyone's going to spend $1,000 thanks to social proof, But when it comes to any of your clients or any of your products, having that social proof, I personally know for a fact, makes people buy stuff. So yeah, Austin, definitely for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, whenever I go on Amazon, I am actually willing to spend more money on a product that has 5-star reviews. It has a lot more 5-star reviews than one that only has a couple. Like, if let's say a product was $20 and only had 10, reviews and they were all 5 stars, that's cool. But if it was $30, more expensive, but it had 5,000 5-star reviews, I'm actually willing to pay that much more. And with the security of knowing that the product is better, and it's just it builds my trust that I'm going to spend my money on the right thing the first time. I don't know, Gregory, do you ever do something like that?
I mean, I'll be the first one to admit when it comes to if I want to buy a product that I'm already using, or even if it's a new product, I like to look at the reviews and especially the ratings of everything. Because, I mean, in today's day and age, I mean, there's so many different products out there that are the same. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to differentiate what's better, what works, what doesn't. So I like to kind of just leverage other people's time. I mean, that's the smartest way to be an entrepreneur, right? Is to leverage other people's time. So I let other people be the ones that go ahead and purchase it. And when they leave these reviews, I get to know, hey, this is good. This is not good. Of course, with anything else, you want to just make sure that you're always tailoring it to the same kind of audience that you're a part of. But when it comes to buying certain products, like I already know if I'm buying let's say a microphone, like the same one I'm talking on right now. I already know that the only people that are purchasing it are people who are serious about using it in the first place. Therefore, once I see people leaving great reviews, I'm like, okay, this must be an amazing product. It's not like I'm buying some like 25-cent product that anyone could just say it's good or not good. So when it comes to that, social proof in general is just kind of how most of us live our lives without even thinking about it. I think honestly, subconsciously, we all kind of just live things socially. I mean, if you think about it, plenty of people spend most of their time on Instagram or even Facebook or Snapchat. And it's because of all this social gathering that the internet has created recently. So that's how a lot of people build their cultures as well. So yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, hey guys, give me a yes if you're ready for secret number 2. I'm going to be explaining the 4 elements of social proof marketing that we add to every funnel to boost conversions. Go ahead and type a giant yes if you're ready to learn this and discover this amazing secret. Okay, cool. I'll go ahead now then. Once we saw the power of social proof marketing, our team here, we became obsessed with the idea. We constantly started asking ourselves, what other ways could we use social proof in our own marketing? And so that's when we created the social proof marketing funnel. So obviously we have the ad here, and on average, like we'd spend about $3 a click. And with 1,000 clicks, that was a hard cost of $3,000. All right. But then we would send a new opt-in. And this is the first piece that we started, adding social proof to. And we were able to get 45% opt-ins, adding on, this bar. I'm going to talk about a few of the pieces of this here. But 45% opt-ins, 450 leads. On average, with the cost, it's $6 to $7 a lead. From that opt-in, later down the funnel, they would go to a checkout. And on that checkout, we got about 8% checkout conversion rate, which would be about 36 purchases for those 1,000 clicks. Revenue generated per purchase was $640. And then we would have a whole bunch of upsells. And so 12% would always upgrade. Four upgrades out of the 36, which was $188. So in total, we would generate $9,900 in lifetime value for our purchases. This was of our company, the Entrepreneur Alliance, is $30 a month. And then $188 in upsells, which is just a $47 one-time upsell. So we consistently got $3,000 in costs. We paid Facebook $3,000 to get $10,088 in return. How many guys here would be super pumped if you had a funnel here that generated $10,000 for every 3,000 you put in. That's a 3x ROI. Type a giant yes if you want to see and me break down how we made a funnel that converts this well. Give me a giant yes here in the comments. I'm going to break down all the elements here that we put together that make all of my opt-ins, my landing pages, and my upsells convert so high. Yes. Okay, cool. I'll go ahead. Element number 1 is credibility logos. And we saw about a 4% boost in conversion by just adding these logos on here. And you can see like, Amazon bestseller, like a lot of people can become an Amazon bestseller, and we can get on a couple podcasts here and Clarity and Kickstarter. And like, this is really when we were just start getting going. But as we started growing, then we got on, sites such as Entrepreneur, and I was on ABC. Dave was on the Foundation and Mixergy and Entrepreneur Ignited. And we kept our Amazon bestseller for Dave's book. And so I want you guys to know, how much do you guys think that this increased conversions by going from these old logos to the new logos? Hey, Gregory, what do you think, man? Do you think that, we increased at all, 5, 10%? What do you think about upgrading these logos? Because it is more credible. What do you think, man?
Yeah. I mean, to me, honestly, now that it has Entrepreneur and ABC, which it didn't have before, I mean, those two alone, I would imagine it went up by at least, let's say, 5 to 7%.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a good guess. And I would have thought the same thing. That's why I ran the test, right? I put, all the old logos on one page, and then on the other page, I put all these brand new logos. Didn't change a thing. And check this out. What do you guys think the increase in conversion is? A couple of people say 10%, 8%, 20%. Dude, you're 20%. All right. Guys, would you be surprised if I said 0% increase in conversion? I mean, this is the wildest thing, and I was totally caught off guard. But I want you guys to think about this. The actual lesson here today is, don't worry about having the highest authority logos. I want you to just work with what you got. All right. Like, literally anybody, like I said, can get on Amazon. It can get on, Clarity and Kickstarter. The point is that you don't need the most credibility. Just the fact that you have as seen on, and then a couple logos, builds a little bit of trust and rapport. And look, it's not like this is going to make your page go from a loser to a winner, but it is going to increase on what we've seen by about 4% boost, which if you do this on every single step of your funnel, it really starts to add up. So like I said, all of these things adding up over time. And when you compound this element along with, let's go ahead and move on to element number 2, is the comment box, you'll start to see these elements in the small percentage of increase in conversion start to increase the overall funnel conversion over time. So element number 2, like I said, is the comment box. And we're an info product, right? Like, we're selling courses. This is for our course, Facebook Ads Mastery. And this is not like on Amazon, you have all these comments and reviews. We want to figure out, how do we replicate this on our info product? It's not like we can, have Amazon reviews for our info product. So we then put basically a mock of what the Amazon's version would be, but using Facebook comment box. This was kind of our workaround. And we just put that on our testimonial page. And so basically, whenever anybody bought our Facebook Ads Mastery, we would say, we would send out an email. Hey, did you guys like Facebook Ads Mastery? What were the reviews here? And we just say, hey, comment down below your success. What cool things have you gotten? What things have you learned? And this is all internal. They've already purchased from our site. And so what happens is they purchase it. They maybe a month in, we'll send out an email and say, hey, comment down below what you thought of the course. And what would happen was we use the exact same comment Facebook URL, and we stream those comments from the back end, from our customers, to the front end, our prospects, on our landing page here. So you'll see that this is a screenshot of our landing page, the digital marketing consultation cheat sheet. And we're going to stream what the purchasers of this cheat sheet and the Facebook Ads Mastery course and all the things that they get with the cheat sheet here on the main page. Type below if that was a giant aha. Like, you've always been trying to figure out, how do you get your past customers to see and share their stories for future customers to see? This is one way that you can work around that. Yeah, pretty cool trick, huh, Gary? Okay, so element number 3 I want to share with you guys is screenshot testimonials. Now, there's a few different ways that you can share testimonials, but what we've found personally is that screenshotting is not only easier, but it is also one of the most authentic ways. Now, yes, you could type out, Rachel Peterson's, comment here, and I could just type out that on my website page, and that's one way to do a testimonial, and that's fine. But it's even more authentic and more trust building to actually take a screenshot of her exact words on Facebook. And it's also really effective if you do this for Google reviews or Facebook reviews. Just take a screenshot and then put that on your website, on your opt-in pages. I see, Gregory, you've done this a few times, haven't you?
Yeah, Austin, I've definitely used these kind of screenshots in the past for all different kind of products. I even have used them as recently as, I want to say, maybe a month and a half ago on some of my softwares. These are the kind of screenshots that people are just used to seeing kind of all the time. So for sure, I use these kind of screenshot testimonials pretty much for everything, really.
Yeah, they're really authentic. I especially like when I see them when I buy something, especially if I know them. Like I think this internet marketing world is getting pretty small now. I feel like I'm starting to know everybody in the space. And so if I've seen that they have bought something recently, like I trust Rachel Peterson's, recommendation. So are you guys ready for element number 4? This one's even more authentic than a screenshot. This is a video case study. And so if you guys have testimonials that you could use, influential people, you want to capture that in the more, the higher quality, the better. But don't feel like you have to have it like, 4K quality like this is. Luckily, she already has all of the gear to be able to produce something that's really quality. But even if it's just a selfie, vertical iPhone video of, your customers sharing their experience, that's amazing too. If you're running an e-commerce business, then have your customers do an unboxing video. These do amazing on YouTube. So figure out how can you capture the stories and experiences of people using your product. And what you want to do when you put this on your landing pages and your sales pages is you want to not only have the video, but you also want to have maybe the one phrase that they've used in the video. Just pull out a quote from that video and put it on their page. Because sometimes like we're maybe in a public situation and we're shopping on the train in between work on our commute. And so when we look down at our phone, like we don't want to play a video. It's just not appropriate. Maybe we're in like the dental office and just in the meantime, but we do want to read. So we want to see like what they were saying. So just pull out, one quote from the video and put it right there on the page, right below the video as well. Now, here's how I capture videos. I kind of found this formulaic process for getting the most out of my videos, out of my testimonial videos. So whenever somebody requests, here's how I do it. And you guys just go ahead and screenshot this. I don't really want to go so far into depth. Just take a screenshot of the page here today. This is literally the email that I send out. Copy and paste it. Use it for your own business. But this is literally what we ask our customers to use for us to gather the perfect testimonial for our pages. All right, cool. Gave you some time to take a screenshot here. Let's kind of move on. So to sum up here, these are the 4 elements of social proof marketing: credibility logos, comment boxes, screen share testimonials, and video case studies. Guys, are you starting to see the power of social proof and how you can add social proof to increase conversions on your funnel? Type a giant yes down below if you are going to take social proof marketing seriously. Do you guys have current customers right now that would be willing to talk about this on Facebook where you can screenshot that? Do you have Google reviews or Amazon reviews that you can put screenshots of that on your pages? Are you willing to ask your customers to do an unboxing video? Maybe you can even reward them. Say like, hey, I'll send you maybe a supplementary or complimentary product with them. Send it on out to them to do a video case study. In fact, I'll share an example of my very first client that I did when we sent out a video case study for an e-commerce product. This is when I was running my marketing agency, and it was an amazing success story. My very first client for e-commerce was a company called WinPouch. Now, you guys might have seen this product because it ended up going viral. It's one of those basically a product where you fly this thing through the air. It looks like a giant sleeve, but it captures wind inside the sleeve. You bite it off on the end, you roll it up, and now you can lay on it like a giant couch. And so that's kind of where we got the name Wind Pouch. This was a perfect time where we can try and do an unboxing video with our brand new product. And this is one of the things that helped us go viral, along with a really cool ad campaign. So we ended up sending our Wind Pouch as a free sample to a ton of influencers in the YouTube world. And guess who picked it up and made a video on it? Casey Neistat. And Casey Neistat literally made a whole video unboxing this new product, Wind Pouch, which was never seen before. We had posted it on Kickstarter and had just made it go live. And so we gave Casey kind of one of these like prototypes before it ever went live. And this made our sales go out of control. So type a giant yes down below if you're ready to take social proof marketing seriously. Yeah. Honestly, that Wind Pouch company ended up going viral. It's amazing. One of the guys says he has a Wind Pouch. That's awesome. Okay, cool, guys. Well, look, I'm so glad that you guys are taking social proof marketing seriously. So let's go ahead and jump into secret number 3. How to stir up a buying frenzy by displaying real-time purchases. So remember that social proof funnel that I talked about earlier? The one where I had the ad to the opt-in to the checkout and the upsell. I told you all that. I had $9,900 in sales plus $188 in upsells, which is pretty sweet. But I want to kind of come up front here and tell you I lied to you. I want to tell you this is what the funnel used to convert at, and it doesn't convert anywhere near that. In fact, it converts much more now because of one simple addition of social proof marketing that made my funnel convert 3 times better than it used to. See, in the past, when I had that ad, we got $3 a click, 1,000 clicks, $3,000, and our opt-in beforehand, it was at 45% opt-in, but by adding on this one extra thing, it went from 45% to 75% opt-ins, which made, instead of 450 leads, 750 leads, and that made my price per lead go down to $4 instead of it was beforehand around $6 to $7. So pretty amazing there just by adding this one extra thing of social proof. Then we found that by adding on this extra thing of social proof to our checkout, it made it go from 8% to 16%. We literally doubled the amount of people that checked out on our the number of people that purchased on our checkout page. So that went from 36 purchases to 148 purchases, because not only were we getting more leads, we were also getting more purchases from those leads. So literally we went from making a few $1,000s to now $35,000 from the same 1,000 clicks. But not only did we get more upgrades, we increased our conversion rate there as well by adding this piece of social proof, going it from a 12% upgrade to 19% upgrade rate, making us a lot more money in upgrades. So in total, we made $34,000 in sales from this new and improved social proof marketing funnel. So pretty amazing. And literally, this is all from adding this one additional piece of social proof marketing. Literally increased our revenues from $10,088, like I said before, to $34,081. Not only that, it also decreased our cost per acquisition from $80 per purchase to $24.17 per purchase, all by adding proof. Now, what is proof? Well, Dave was shopping for a safari trip to go with his wife, Amanda. I believe it was for their 1-year anniversary. And he was shopping on hotels.com or TripAdvisor or something like that, and saw here down below 10 people were looking at this hotel room in the last hour. Now, he had never known anybody to go out to the safari thing, so he was almost going to this thing blind. So he went to hotels.com and he went to TripAdvisor and he went to Booking, and he kept saying this same thing over and over. 10 people booked this hotel in the last hour. 2 people just started booking this hotel. And he saw here on Booking.com that people were doing this minutes ago. And then there's other people that are looking at this right now. On top of that, here on Airbnb, I noticed that they're using the same idea of live streaming social proof. 32 travelers on this are considering this property right now. It was like he had a peek into the window of what people were doing right now with this safari trip. And so that built up a lot of trust. He's like, I'm not going to get scammed by this thing. A lot of people are doing this right now, has a lot of reviews. And so he realized they're supercharging their social proof. And it was clearly working because it got him to buy literally that night. He was really shopping. He was at the phase of shopping and decided, you know what the heck? So many people are buying this thing. There's only a few left. I might as well buy right now. It's kind of like Gregory said earlier, the fear of missing out. He wanted to like book this thing now before a ton of other people booked it in the meantime while he was shopping. And so he said to himself, wow, this is really powerful. And we need this for our funnels as soon as possible. But we couldn't find anything that would work for us. So we decided that we'd build it ourselves. And we realized, guys, all these sites like literally hotels.com and Booking and TripAdvisor, they all literally just made this themselves. Like, look, it's all different notifications. They all look totally different. And that's because there was no external software that was doing this thing. They just all made it themselves. So we decided that we would build it ourselves as well because there was nothing that we could buy out there on the market. And this is the very first MVP, our version 1. And it was as simple as this. We put it on our jointhealliance.co page where it was simple as this. James from San Diego recently joined the Entrepreneur Alliance. And what it essentially would do is whenever anybody would opt in to, or when anybody would ever purchase on our checkout page, it would then send a notification on the sales page and the home page and a few other pages. We threw it on there. We didn't know what would work, or if it didn't, it was totally a test. So we left it on there and we sat in the control room waiting. We just put it on there for about a month and we let it ride. Our checkouts went from 19% conversion to 42% conversion rate, guys. And we were like, oh my God, it worked. The test worked. We couldn't believe it. So then we said, this is too good to be true. We needed to let some of our other internet buddies try it out too. So our friend David Schloss, he is one of the biggest ad buyers in the market. He runs a ton of high profile clients. And so we let him use it on a few of his clients almost as like a case study. And he let 30 of his 40 clients use it, and conversion rates got exponentially better. He literally posted this on his Facebook. Rachel Peterson said in one day, Proof increased her conversion rates by 3x, which is a ton because it's a high traffic site. And then she decided not to pay for it one day and her conversions plummeted. So she called Dave super fast to get back on. And then we let one of the guys in our mastermind use it, Eric Thane, who is a great cinematographer, and he also teaches cinematography. He said Proof all the way, using on every step of the funnel, and it almost tripled his conversions and opt-ins and sales too. So we continued tinkering and adding more little features to that original MVP, eventually making it this kind of robust conversion tool set known as Proof. And Gregory, I know that you've used Proof a few times here in the past, and I want to know, how has it been working for you, man?
Yeah, it's been going really, really well. I mean, I've been able to increase my conversions exponentially. Everyone that got the email saw that I spoke about how I was able to increase everything. It's one of those things like Austin mentioned before, and so have I earlier in the webinar about fear of missing out. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, I sent out an email before and I tested it. I sent out an email to only half my list. So some of you got it who are on here, some of you didn't. But I sent it out to half my list where I spoke about a specific software that I was promoting, which was one of my domain softwares. And people went out there, they purchased it, they loved it. That was great. Now, I went ahead and targeted everyone else that didn't purchase it after I installed Proof on it. And because after I installed Proof, all these people who weren't interested before, I actually got 60% of them to go ahead and purchase it just by installing Proof alone. Now, mind you, this was literally only 3 days later. So it's not like their mind changed or their business changed dramatically that now they needed it. It was just the fear of missing out. They're like, wait a minute, all these other internet marketers are getting it. I need to have a leg up on the competition at all times. These guys are going to be way ahead of me. Let me go ahead and get this software too.
Dude, that's awesome. Makes me really excited to hear that. Well, look, I see a lot of comments right now talking about like, so, okay, go into proof. Like, what is it about? So here's our very first product that we made. It's the simple proof notification. What it does is display recent sales and opt-ins on your site in real time. Essentially, here's how it works is you choose the page that you want to capture the information from, such as like a checkout, and then you can choose the page that you want to show that opt-in or purchase on a page, such as maybe a sales page or a home page. So you can do this for opt-ins, you can do this for checkouts, you can do this for upsells, but essentially you're live streaming people that have just done an activity, hoping that by the time that you're showing this to other people on that are maybe thinking about doing that, it incentivizes them to do that thing. Which, by the way, talking about shopping gets me really excited about our newest product line is our ability to display the number of visitors in real time. So for example, here on this page, it says 88 people are viewing this site. Imagine like what this could do for your Shopify store. If you could show people that are shopping how many people are right now considering buying your product. And this is even more powerful. Think about this, guys. If you could have an inventory count, because I know there's a couple Shopify widgets that show how many of these are left. So if you show not only how many people are on the site shopping, guys, you could put how many products are left. Do you guys see how powerful that is? That's an amazing addition to your store. It kind of reminds me, though, of that slide I had here in the beginning of the presentation where there's a long line in front of a restaurant. It works kind of like the viral effect, a long line that your customers are bringing in more customers, right? Like that's why I say this all the time here at Proof is that you are only one past customer away from Proof increasing conversions on your own funnel. So I'm sure many of you all have already seen Proof, though, even before hopping on this webinar, because right now we have over 5,000 entrepreneurs using this on their site. That means 32 million people have seen a Proof notification in the past month, and it's only growing every day. But also on top of that, some of the world's top marketers are using Proof to increase conversions on their funnel. So you might know Amy Porterfield or Dave Ramsey or Bob Proctor. And for me, this is really cool because, over 10 years ago when I first started kind of diving into entrepreneurship, these are my heroes. Like these are the guys that I would, go to conferences and listen to and buy their books and like listen to their audios. And now my heroes are my customers. So just really cool to see how fast Proof has taken on. But it's because we've made a great product that a lot of people trust. I mean, hey, Gregory, do you know any of these characters here? Are any of these guys your friends?
I'm very familiar with Bob Proctor. My best friend actually does the SEO for the entire Proctor Gallagher Institute. Very familiar with him. Spoken to him a few times, been a few of his conferences. I know Brian as well on that page. On the very next slide, I believe you had Becker, which obviously most of you know is one of my closest friends as well. Just tons of people on there that I know, even people I'm not friends with. I just know them in general just because, like you mentioned, when I was starting out to become an entrepreneur, a lot of these people I went ahead and I followed from the very beginning. I mean, everyone knows Ty Lopez thanks to YouTube, right? So, I mean, just seeing all that, it's absolutely a phenomenal, everything you guys have achieved.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Well, look, I think a lot of you guys are maybe asking the question right now, hey, Austin, is this going to work on checkouts? Well, yeah, duh, guys, it's going to work on your checkouts. Proof dominates on checkouts. See, for example, Alex Becker here, he's using it on his Market Hero checkout. Obviously, Market Hero is a software company. And then we have Proof here on Eric Thane's checkout, which is Cinematography Mastery, which is like how to become a really good videographer, cinematographer. So yeah, Proof is definitely going to dominate on your checkouts. Who here uses lead magnets right now to capture emails? Go ahead and comment down below. Type in a giant 1 if you use a lead magnet or some kind of tripwire to get them into your pipeline, into your funnel, for them to give you their email address in return for a PDF or a short. Yeah, a lot of people are giving me 1s right now. So look, if you're using lead magnets to capture emails, Proof is going to dominate for you. Amy Porterfield trusts us and uses us for her courses that convert. This is her lead magnet here, the 5 rookie webinar mistakes that most entrepreneurs make. And so whenever anybody opts in on this page, a little proof notification will come up saying that, somebody, this person just opted in 2 minutes ago. And that gets you to want to also opt in. We got Todd Brown here using it on his opt-in page for his customer acquisition marketing protocol. This is like a little boot camp that he has created, and he's using proof on the opt-in page. So, oh yeah, proof definitely dominates on opt-ins, guys. And look, tell me this real quick. Is anybody plan on doing a webinar sometime this year? Give me a giant yes if you plan on doing a webinar. Well, yeah, looks like a lot of you guys plan on doing webinars this year. Well, look at Devin Zander. He puts proof on his webinar registration page, and it's doing phenomenal. And look, I want you all to know, if you plan on doing a webinar this year, you're going to get a lot more registrants on that webinar if you put proof on the registration page. So I want you to know, absolutely, proof dominates on webinar registration pages. Who here sells on Shopify? I feel like I'm probably preaching to the choir here. A lot of people, looks like, are using Shopify. So look, proof does integrate with Shopify, and you can see here that Buy Stuff Online is using it. We also have a client called Cloud10 using it for their sheets, and it's increasing conversions like crazy. You want to use this, yes, on the main page, but definitely on the checkout as well. Right before they put in their credit card information, they want to make sure that other people have done the same, and it's even bonus points if it was recent activity. So look, cha-ching, proof dominates on Shopify stores. By leveraging the science of social proof, we're dominating, and I want you to dominate with us. Yes, proof works on any website. So whether or not you're using ClickFunnels or Lead Pages or Instapage, Shopify, it doesn't really matter, because we have integrations with pretty much all of these platforms here. So you're going to be covered no matter what. So right now, I want to know who's thinking proof is one of the biggest freaking no-brainers right now. Give me a giant yes if you think proof will increase conversions on your funnel. Give me a giant yes if you think that adding on proof to your webinar registration pages or opt-in pages or sales funnels, if you're going to get increases in conversions. Tons of yeses. Awesome. Well, hey, I want to give a quick shout out here to my agency owners. I used to own an agency, and so I feel a little rapport with you all. I want you all to think, do you guys believe that clients will be pumped if you have access to proof and you can get them way better results on their opt-ins and landing pages? Hell yeah. Because I know that if I'm sending traffic, let's say I'm doing paid ads for my clients, and I send them to a page that's dead, it's going to look like my traffic is not the right kind of traffic. However, that might just be the problem of the opt-in page. So what I want to do on my side of traffic is make sure that the leads are coming in. And that's what proof is going to do for you and your clients. It's going to make you look like a rock star marketer. And that's why David Schloss, he has 30 out of his 40 clients right now using proof. And he's trying to get everybody else on board too, because it is dominating for him and his clients. So really pumped for all you agency owners out there. So now that you've been seeing how social proof marketing is incredibly effective, and you've seen how effective proof is on our funnels along with thousands others, you can clearly see how you can make a lot of money here in a short amount of time. So you might be asking yourself right now, how do I get started? Well, it's really simple. We have a $29 basic package. This is for some of you guys are just kind of getting started here with your business. You can get about 1,000 unique visitors a month. The next level, which is our most popular plan at $79 a month, is 10,000 unique visitors. And you also get 2 more domains, so 3 domains total with that plan. Then we have the business package, which is $129 a month, and that's going to give you up to 50,000 unique visitors a month, 10 domains, and then we also have another level that I don't have on this slide right now, which is for agency owners. It's $199 a month. You get unlimited domains, unlimited traffic. So this is maybe for a specific person that's running multiple businesses or managing multiple funnels for other people. So real quick, let me ask you a question. If all proof did was spark 1 customer per month, would it be worth that $29? Absolutely, guys. 1 customer is going to bring in more than $29 a month. So if all proof does is bring you 1, that's going to easily pay itself off. And what if I ran a test and it increased every page in your funnel by 10%? Do you think that would be worth $29 a month? Hell yes, absolutely. You guys saw earlier in my funnel how just by increasing by 10% on all of my pages, such as my opt-in page, my upsell page, my checkout, by adding that across my entire funnel, we ended up 3xing our business literally just because of proof. So if you can just do 10%, that's such a small increase. So I think that is pennies in the bank. That is such a small amount of investment to get such a large return. So give me a giant yes if you think it'd be worth 29 bucks. Guys, that is what I like to hear. All right, so let me ask you one last question here. Would it be okay if I spend about 10 minutes going over a very special offer I created to help you increase conversions on your site? This is going to be only an offer for you guys, friends of Gregory, because I think Gregory's a great guy. I love the things that he's been creating, and so I want to really give back here to his audience.
Sorry to jump in real quick. I just want to say first off, thank you once again. It's something that I was extremely excited about sharing with all of you guys here on the webinar, guys and girls rather, here on the webinar. It's something I kind of twisted Austin's arm about because, at the end of the day, I want to make sure everyone gets their value. And so does Austin. Him and his team making sure that every single person gets what they paid for very seriously. So I said to him, you know what, why don't we just go ahead, give some kind of, like a 3 to 5 day free trial so everyone can kind of just try it out. And he went ahead and said, Gregory, I'll do you one better. Let's give 2 full free weeks. So that way they can test it out. And if they don't love it, then okay, they can go, but I guarantee they're going to love it. And pretty much, I fell in love with the software. I know everyone else is going to have great success with it as well. And it ends up paying for itself like 10 times over, just like I mentioned. So thank you once again, Austin.
Well, I'm really excited to share this with you too. So here, everybody that's friends with Gregory here on today's webinar, if you go to this tiny link, I'm going to give you a free 14-day trial to prove, just because, you know Gregory, I know Gregory, and I want to hook you guys up with this deal. But I'm going to one-up this deal here and not only give you a 14-day trial to proof, I'm also going to give you my $500 course, Conversion Secrets. Yes, myself and my partner Dave created that we currently sell on the market today. You can go and look it up for $500 to the public. But I want to give you guys, since you're here on the webinar, and if you end up signing up for proof, I want to reward that. I want to give you guys a gift here. And so I'm going to give you all Conversion Secrets. This course is an amazing course. It's going to teach you everything that you need to know about how to optimize conversions on your site. It's really about building this skill set of doing that, right? So how do you do split tests and all the things? Let me kind of break down what's in Conversion Secrets. So first off, you're going to learn about the mindset of the optimizer. This is especially important if you plan on being the person that continuously optimizes your funnel. The second one is the entrepreneur versus the scientist. There's some differences here. So where do you find the balance in between? There's the significance matrix where, we kind of break down the significance of your split test. Then we start talking about how to patch up these holes in your bucket. We talk about some tools that the expert conversion rate optimizers use. Funnel tracking spreadsheet, that's what I report in every single day. So I'm going to give you my Google Doc where you can end up using this for your own business as well. Successful funnel breakdown. This is where I break down some of our most profitable funnels and all the little intricacies that make it work really well. Part of that split testing I talked about earlier, we do it a lot. We find out what works and what doesn't, and we share that here inside the course. I also talk about how to increase your lifetime value within your funnel using order bumps and upsells and some other really cool strategies and tactics. And on top of that, I'm going to give you my funnel share link. So I've created some really high performing funnels within my ClickFunnels account. So I actually gave you all the links to import that into your own ClickFunnels. And these are not only high converting, but they're also well designed. So like I said, the total value of this is $2,000. We currently sell it on the market for $500, but today, because you're friends with Gregory and because I want you to get started here with Proof and try out our software, I'm going to give it to you for free here today. So like I said, this is a limited time bonus, Conversion Secrets with your free trial to Proof. It's going to go back up to $500, but I don't want you to have to pay that. Keep the money in your wallet. I don't need it. I want you guys to have that money. I want you guys to use this conversion rate optimizing course. I want you to use Proof to optimize your pages, your lead magnets, your opt-ins, your checkouts, everything. I want you guys to have a very profitable business. So keep your $500, get my free course, get my free trial to use Proof. And if you guys have any questions, this is where I really want to open it up here for you guys to ask anything and hear about Proof or conversion secrets. Gregory, do you have any questions, man?
I want to kind of combine those two. So there's a couple of questions in here people are asking, and I want to combine that with kind of what I want to say at the same time. So one person is asking, well, not one, a couple people are asking in different ways. Hey, Gregory and Austin, just want to go ahead and kind of ask you, what are your thoughts on using other conversion methods? Now, I knew I would get this question in here. I'm not surprised by it. And there's nothing wrong with asking it. I mean, everyone's entitled to their own questions, right? And it makes sense. It's something I would probably ask too. But Austin already showed you that him and his team have spent so much money testing this before they even created it in the first place. Now, I've spent so much money using all different kind of ads and everything else imaginable, as you all know, to always try to increase my conversions. I mean, at the end of the day, you're all business owners and you all know what's the number one thing that matters to you most, other than your customers being happy, is making as much money as possible from customers and obtaining new customers. Now, like I've mentioned before, Proof has done this for me exponentially, and not even so much how big the numbers are. I like to look at how quickly it's happened. To me, that's the most shocking thing, Austin, is how quickly people have wanted to purchase just by installing this piece of software on my website. I mean, it's insane. It's one of those things that, you know, like you hear about it. Like when I was first told about it, I was like, oh, that sounds cool. But in the back of my mind, it was one of those, it's too good to be true type of deals. But I went ahead, purchased it anyway. And thankfully, I was proven wrong. Now, you all have nothing to lose because, like Austin mentioned, he was gracious enough to give you all a 14-day free trial. Remember, it's free. Okay. And in those 14 days, even if you, for some strange reason, you don't like it, I'm almost positive you're going to gain some customers. So that's free money in your pocket. Just look at it that way. You know, go ahead, test it out. And I guarantee you're going to want to keep it because of all the different conversions you're going to get increased, the new customers that you're also going to have as well. To me, that was the key part, was getting new customers. Like I mentioned before, when I sent out that email about that software, some people purchased it when I originally sent out the email, but 60% of those people who said no went out and purchased it. Those are brand new customers for that software that I wouldn't have had it not been for Proof. Yeah, I could have sent them another follow-up email, maybe a pre-recorded webinar or something like that from before. But guess what? The conversion rates on those, like I tested them before, are much, much, much lower. I would not have had that 60% result that I had now. So it's absolutely amazing and absolutely phenomenal. I mean, like I mentioned before, it's 14-day free trial. What have you got to lose? You have nothing to lose.
Yeah, man. And to kind of go back to, what John's question was, is this going to replace any other of my conversion methods? No, like this is a good addition. This is how you can boost your conversion rate. This is not to, replace, like I said, like in our funnel, we had our social proof funnel. We had the logos and we had the testimonials and all that. And that's when we like really started doubling down on this stuff. But then when we added on Proof to our website, everything else like blew up. Every single page of our funnel increased in conversions. And so it was almost as an addition. It was complementing.
Austin? Yeah, I really like that you added that as an addition. It's one of those things that I want everyone here to understand. I mean, when you go out and you like, let's say you're pitching to a new client, perhaps, right? Like when you pitch to the client, you're using a similar script. Like, granted, some of it's going to change, right? So the first couple of times you pitch to a client, you're going to realize, okay, maybe next time I don't need to say this. Maybe next time I should say that. Once you have it perfected, you keep going with the same formula. But once you go to like, let's say a class, or you go to a course, or you go to an event and you learn something in addition to it that you know is going to increase your, closing of sales, you add it to it. That's exactly what this software is. It's something you add to it that is going to go ahead and increase the amount of money you're making right now. That was a great way to put it, Austin. Thank you for that.
Awesome. So, hey, Gregory, any questions that you have, or anybody else have any other questions that you want me to answer?
The only other final question I see everyone asking is about the bonus. They just want to know how is it that they obtain the bonus after they go ahead and purchase. Looks like we have a lot of people already commenting that they've went ahead and purchased it already, which is fantastic. I mean, it shows you a lot of people are serious about it, especially since it's 14-day free trial. I mean, why not, right? Everyone should go out and get it. They just want to know how they go about obtaining the bonus. And correct me if I'm wrong, the only way to get the bonus is to go through my link that you have displayed for them to go ahead and sign up for Proof, because once that happens, they get tagged. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's correct. So the link that I gave Gregory here is basically, it's going to add a tag to our email system. that allows us to start in automation. You guys know how online marketing is, and you'll get conversion secrets sent straight to your email as soon as you sign up for Proof. And so, yeah, start your trial there, and literally here within the next couple minutes, give it like 10 to 15 minutes because there's a Zapier integration there. Sometimes that takes a little longer, but give it 15 minutes and you're going to get conversion secrets right into your email. Again, like I normally sell this thing for $500, but I want to do good by you all. And since you stayed here for the entire webinar, like keep the money, keep the $500, try out conversion secrets. It's our free gift, and you'll get a 14-day free trial as well here to Proof. So with that, maybe I'll take one more question. Gregory, do you have anything else you'd like to add here?
There is nothing holding you back from getting the free trial. You're also going to get the free conversion secrets bonus, so you literally have nothing to lose. Go ahead, get it. I recommend every single person go ahead and get it. Once again, there's nothing for you to lose at all. I'm going to go ahead and keep this page up along with the link for the next few minutes. And thanks, Austin, so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. And I'll see all of you very, very soon. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Sounds good, Gregory. Hey, thanks for everybody for having me on. I'll see you guys on the inside.